60 million people in Italy have been forced to quarantine after more than 10,000 cases of COVID-19 quickly spread across their country. Italy is the hardest hit outside of China. Cheridan Sanders is Context's Rome correspondent, and she joins us now by Skype. Sheridan, set the scene for us in Italy. What's it like now?
It's eerie, Lorna, because Italy is a place where people come from all over the world to, see the gorgeous sights, the historic places, and right now it feels like a ghost town.
And you just landed before this quarantine shutdown. What was the process like for screening when you arrived?
Well, it was very orderly, but yeah, everyone got screened before entering into the customs area. So it was, I mean, I came in the early hours of the morning, so there wasn't really anyone around, but they're prepared on that front.
You came, you got groceries, you noticed immediately in the grocery store distancing. What's going on?
Yeah, so people are lining up outside of the grocery store, and even at the grocery store, you have to maintain about 1 to 3 meter distance. So they're only allowing a certain amount of people in at a time, and outside, you have to in the line itself, you have to maintain distance from everyone else. People are definitely stocking up on things, and I mean, overall, I think it's a calm and kind of respectful, uh, ambiance or environment, but um, you can still, it's not normal, and obviously it's a little worrying.
So, we also know Italy for its wonderful churches, for its deep Catholic roots. What's happening, do you think, on the line of faith and public life going into COVID-19?
Well, they've cancelled all public masses as of till April 3rd. April 3rd. So that means that during Lent, which is a time when you do a lot of liturgical celebrations around Stations of the Cross or that sort of thing, and people aren't able to participate in that anymore because that all requires gathering into a place. So I think that's going to be one of the hardest things to deal with, is that we can't go to mass anymore. But of course, everyone here will do everything they can to respect the guidelines and to make sure that the coronavirus doesn't spread.
Is fear tangible?
Um, I think that people are generally, obviously, people are concerned. I don't think it's tangible in that people are not panicking as much as I thought that they would be. But suddenly, you know that this is not a normal situation. It's eerily quiet. I think that that's something to be said in and of itself. I mean,
Okay.
people are, I think, mostly concerned about the fact that this will have a huge economic impact. Small businesses are already having a hard time here in Italy, and I think this will just be crushing for them. So I really worry about that.
Okay, so let's talk about the economic fallout. What are people expecting?
Well, all of these small businesses that, when the universities closed down here and a lot of Americans were sent back, and any foreign tourists or that sort of thing was sent back home. There are a lot of smaller businesses around that are supported. So, for example, now Vatican City is basically empty, and there's a lot of small businesses that rely on that kind of tourism. So, not only is it the hotels and all of those types of industries that are linked to directly tourism, but the smaller side businesses that are connected with that, and that will have a huge impact. I mean, the fact that restaurants are empty, that people have to go home at 6 p.m., and that you're not able to have those dinners, and I mean that's an Italian way of life. Even going to the coffee shop is an Italian way of life. So all of that has been shuttered up basically. Um, you know, with people just not being able to go out or not wanting to go out
And it's
either.
affecting every area: hospital visits, seniors visits, prisons. We've heard 12 prisoners in
Yeah,
Santa Ana died as a result of rioting over family not
yeah.
being able to visit. How's that story going down?
Well, I mean, obviously, they're going to have a hard time containing people's fear around this, and people were rioting because they wouldn't have access to their family members. They were suspending visiting hours. So, um, I mean, it's very sad, but obviously, I think that people are just trying to manage as best they can. I don't think anyone is really prepared for a pandemic. And the country was very bold in deciding to take these very drastic measures. But I think that, in the interest of everyone, I think everyone's just going to do their part to make sure that this stops.
Okay, and Sheridan, how is your own faith holding up in this very unprecedented time?
We had the reading on the Transfiguration of Christ last Sunday, and Christ he basically says he's always with us, right? So even though we might be afraid, I think that these are the times when you become aware of the fact that you are a limited person, and there's really only so much you can do to kind of control situations. And it's in those times that you really kind of have to hunker down and just trust in God, and also to just kind of maintain your cool throughout all of this, and just do what you can, and just know that the rest is in God's hands, really.
All right. Well, Cheridan Sanders, you've helped us put a face to pray for the suffering there in Italy. You are our context correspondent. Thank you for joining us from Rome, and stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. What do you think about today's topic? Let us know in the comments.